Welcome everyone to our first recorded class we're having for CP Salsa. We're going to be learning a shine today. You all just saw a demonstration of what the shine looks like. We're going to go through each of these 8 counts individually, and then at the very end we'll run through it with music, with a slow song, with a medium song, and with a fast song. So let's go over our very first shine here. So the very first shine starts with the left foot. We're going to step out to the side. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. So the footwork for our very first shine is basically just a side step. All we're doing with our left foot is we're stepping out on 1, step back in on 3. Then with your right foot, you're going to step out to the right on 5, then back to the center on 7. So when you're doing these side basics, I don't want you to just be stepping to the side. What I want you to do is using the opposite arm of which foot you're stepping with. I want you to push it out to the side. So when you step to the left, push that arm out in a diagonal. 1, 3, 5, 7. And I want you to try not just being upright with this, try getting a little bit lower, still keeping a nice posture, but just kind of get a little bit into it with your shoulders and with your arm. So for our second shine, we're going to start with the right turn here. So right after that side basic, we're going to do a right turn. 1, 2, face the side. 5, 6, 7, and face the front on 1. So the second shine starts with a right turn. On your 1, you're going to step forward and do a right turn. 1, 2, 3. But you're going to end up facing the left. So you're not doing a full turn. As soon as you land on 3, you hold on 4, you're going to kick out on 5. And as you kick out, you want to make sure that you're not kicking with your toe up. Think like you're kicking a soccer ball on the side of a chair. You want to flex your foot down so that you're hitting with the top of the foot there. And don't kick too far out. Try to keep it nice and in, because it's a fast kick. So it's 1, 2, 3, 5, step 6, turn to your left on 7 to face the front. And you want your right foot tapped to the right behind you in a diagonal. So the second shine starts with a right turn here. When you're doing that right turn, I want you to bring your arm out to the side. But I want you to do it not just bringing your arm out, but use a little bit of lady styling with it. When you're bringing your arm out with lady styling, you don't just want to bring the arm out. Think about leading with the elbow, then leading with the wrist, then finishing with your hand. And when you bring your arm back, elbow, wrist, hand. That's always how it is. Elbow, wrist, hand, elbow, wrist, hand. So make sure to keep that lady styling in mind when you're going out with your arm. Now for the men, you don't have to do it quite that same way, but I still want you bringing your arm out with energy. And especially for the men, focus on the point at the end. Put that energy in there. And as you step out, 1, and as you do your turn, bring your hand up and hair comb yourself. 1, 2, 3. Face the side. As you kick, you're going to bring your right arm back and your left arm forward. 5, 6, 7. And as you finish, I want you to bring your arms out to the sides. So now our third shine. We just turned and landed. So here, we're going to tap out. 1, in, 2, 3, step back, 5, 6, 7. So our right foot is diagonally back from us in a tap position. We're going to tap 1, tap in, 2, 3. From there, you're going to step back, 5, 6, 7. So it ends with the backside of a normal basic. So when you're doing the taps in this part of the shine, I want you to think of a jump rope motion with your arms. Every single time you tap, do a little bit of a full circle with both hands. 1, 2, 3. Then push, 6, 7. You're kind of just lightly pushing yourself back with your arms as you slide backward. So our next shine is going to start with a walk forward. What we're going to do is we're going to be crossing our feet. 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to do a kick. 5, 6, 7. So as soon as you finish the last shine, what you're going to do with your left foot is you're going to walk forward, crossing your feet. 1, 2, 3. And you want to make sure you're not just walking forward, you want to make sure your feet are crossing each other. So we cross, 1, 2, 3. You're going to do another kick, but this time it's going to be a bit of a scoop. 5, 6, 7. So don't take too long on the scoop. 5, 6, 7. The next shine doesn't have anything too complex going on with the styling. Mainly when you're crossing, you're just making sure you're doing that counter arm motion. And as you kick and scoop forward, just like when we were kicking to the side earlier, bring your right arm back and your left arm forward to accentuate that movement. So now for our fifth shine, we just scooped and landed. So with our right foot this time, we're going to cross 1, bring the feet together on 2, drop on 3, then we slide back 5, 7. So our feet are here. We just scooped 5, 6, 7. So our weight is on our left foot and our right foot is ready to step. We're going to cross with our right on 1, step on 2, drop on 3. And as I drop, I basically do just a little bit of a hop so that my feet slam into the ground to give a little bit more emphasis. One more time. 1, 2, 3. From here, I'm going to slide my foot on the ground, push it back, 5, 7. So I'm just pushing my foot straight back. So when we're sliding back our feet on 5, 7, there's two different ways you can do this. The way I usually like to do it is I actually slide my feet. So they're never actually leaving the ground. They always stay on it, and I'm just sliding my feet across that ground. If I'm on nice hardwood here, it's very easy to slide my feet. If you're on carpet though, or concrete, or your shoes are just not very good with this, say for example if you're dancing in heels or tennis shoes, another option you can do is instead of keeping your foot on the ground, you can actually lift it up just slightly and take a step behind you. It gives a little bit of a different feel, but gets the same general effect that we're looking for. You want to make sure you're not fully lifting up your foot. That's not what we're looking for. Very subtle lifting it up to make it seem like it's still sliding, but to get that same general effect. So the styling for this part of the shine, you cross with your right, then your left. On 3, you want to make sure you're nice and up so that when you drop on 3, you get a nice level change going on there. And I like to have my hands on my pant line here, kind of like I'm gripping it, almost like I'm gripping basically the belt loops. It's just a nice place to put it, and I also like to roll my shoulders a little bit as I go down. From here, I bring the arms up. And I'm not just going up, I'm not going up to the side, I'm bringing my arms in front of me and flipping the wrists. Get a little bit more energy going with it. As I go 5, 7. So for the sixth part of our shine, we're going to go over some renajans. So we just dropped, went back 5, 7. Now with our left foot, you're going to go 1, 3, 5, 7. So as we're doing our renajan steps, nothing too fancy going on with the styling here. All I'm doing is I'm just doing the counter arm motion, but I'm accentuating a little bit to kind of extend almost like I'm touching my shoulders. Touch the shoulder, touch the shoulder, touch the shoulder, touch the shoulder. A couple options you have for this. You could choose to wipe off your shoulders as you go back. You could also choose to comb your hair a little bit during some of these too if you wanted to. But all I'm doing is I'm just basically just barely not touching those shoulders. So the seventh part of our shine is going to be one of the trickiest parts here. This is going to be a little bit of a pachanga step. If you've never done pachanga before, basically we just did the renajan 3, 5, 7. With that right foot, you're going to chuck it in. 1, 3, 5, 7. So we're doing our pachanga step. This one is actually a little bit more complicated because you technically want to push your foot back on 8. You basically want to push that foot back And on one, chuck it forward. And as I slide that right foot in, I lift up the heel of my left foot. From there, I push that foot back as I face another diagonal, and I chuck the foot. Chuck, 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 chuck. And as I'm doing this, you want to make sure you're not just doing it straight forward. You want to make sure you're facing a diagonal, face the other diagonal, face the diagonal, face the other diagonal. So just like we talked about with our previous step, when you're sliding your feet back, you can choose to actually slide your feet across the ground, or you could choose to pick them up and take a small step. I like sliding my feet on the ground, gets me nice and grounded, gets a nice feel. But depending on what you feel is better and what your dance environment is, instead of actually sliding that foot, you can choose to just barely pick it up off the ground and take a step instead. You still want to get the same general movement. The only difference is, are you sliding your feet or are you barely picking them up for that step? So when we're doing the pachanga step, there's just a little bit happening with our hands, but a little bit more happening with our shoulders. As I'm doing that pachanga step, all I'm doing is keeping my hands pretty much still, palms facing outward, to get a little bit of accent with those hands. With my shoulders, they're going back and forth. They're basically rolling up and back, then up and forward. Back, 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 back. So every single time that I'm chucking that foot forward, my shoulders roll back. So this last part of our shine is going to be our fastest footwork here. It's going to be a little bit of a train step. So basically we just did our pachanga, 3, 5, 7. Both of our feet are planted. We're going to start with that right foot again. 1, 3, 5, 7. So our last shine is going to be our fastest shine yet. So we're going to be at a diagonal. We're going to start with our right foot again. What you're going to do is you're going to step forward with your right foot, step forward with your left foot, step behind you with your right foot, step behind you with your left foot. And you keep repeating that motion. And you want to make sure, keep your hips where they are. Let your feet be moving forward and back and not your upper body. And the timing of this, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and. And at the very end, do one more kick to end it off. So for our train step here, once again, not too much happening up on the upper body because the step itself is pretty fast. All you're doing is think about moving your hands in a circle, but have your hands in the opposite part of those circles. So as one hand hits the bottom, the other hand hits the top, and vice versa. And that happens as I'm doing those steps. Think just like when you watch a train wheel, just like how the levers look on that wheel, rotating a circle. That's basically the look we're going for here. So let's put our whole shine together without music here. To start with, we'll start with one basic. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. We go into the side. 1, 5. We do that right turn. 1, 2, face the side. 5, 6, 7. Tap, 2, 3, 5, 6. We cross. 1, 2, scoop. 5, 6, 7. Cross, step, down. 5, 7. Ranajan. 1, 3, 5, 7. Pachanga. 3, 5, 7. Now the train step. 1, 3, 5, 7. And kick.